Welcome to Hate Clarity. I'm your host, Lindsay, and today we're doing an Akashic Records collective reading for the month of March. So March is shaping up to be an interesting month. We've got the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. So it kicks off eclipse season for the year and a bunch of other things. I will be hosting an online group event for the lunar eclipse in Virgo. Information for that is in the description box below. We are going to go into the healing room together and ask a bunch of questions about this eclipse in particular, the story that's kind of playing out throughout the eclipses in the next few months, and how we can navigate them. So, should be an interesting group event. I hope you'll join us. We haven't done group events in a little while, so I'm excited to see your faces. So again, if you want to sign up for that, it will be on Monday, March 10th. The eclipse is on the 14th of that week, so we're going to get a little ahead of it and do it on Monday evening, Eastern Standard Time, 6:30. So again, all that information will be in the description box below. But I feel like we need some group support, community support. So I hope to see you guys there. For our collective reading on the month of March, we are asking the questions: what's the opening message or opening visual? What is the energy of the first week? What is the energy of the second week, third week? And then what's the most important message we need to know? So in opening the Akashic Records on the month of March 2025, as I was saying the opening prayer off camera just prior to hitting record, I got the word teeth. And they're saying chomped. So the energy of March is going to feel like teeth. So let's see if we can ask directly, if they can flesh that out for us a bit more. What is the opening message or opening visual for the month of March? Teeth. It's kind of like teethed, though. Chomped. And when you think about using teeth, this is aggressive, this is protective, this is, they're saying, predatory. There is very clear offense and defense and fighting. And so this chomped is kind of like showing your teeth, and they're saying cut off, things cutting off, like things really coming to a head. They're saying like aggressive head on. So this is going to be an aggressive month with teeth. Oh, interesting. My tiger shirt. I wonder why I wore that today. Okay, teeth. Opening message, opening visual. What is the energy of the first week of March? What is the energy of the first week of March? Ooh, outnumbered. And isolated? Outnumbered. There's like realizations in, it could be individual. This feels more like they're saying populations, like mass populations, that there is this sense of being outnumbered, someone being outnumbered, realizing that they are outnumbered, and getting in our favor. Like inhumanity, behaviors around inhumanity are outnumbered by humanity. They're just like, there are more in favor of quality of human life than not. And they're saying outnumbered, overturned, overcome. Something gets flipped out flipped on its head. Something gets flipped on its head. But it is a battle. There is fighting, and it is aggressive. So one more snapshot. What is the energy of the first week? Outnumbered. And if you're gonna bring this, they're kind of like into your like intimate experience, into like your like inner world, you could feel outnumbered about something. You could feel bullied about something. And you might need to make a stand. You might need to stand up for yourself. Or you could be a part of the population in numbers that is outnumbering someone or something else. So it's this feeling of groups and communities, like a communal overcoming. Communities overcome. It really feels kind of like not sure like which way. It's like, but it's like overall this blanket feeling is that it's good for us, it's good for you, but that it might be in flux of feelings and realizations of being outnumbered. Like, who's outnumbered? And they're saying like non-dualistic, like trying to maintain like a non-dualistic perspective. Who's outnumbered? And something's overcome. Okay. What is the energy of the second week of March? What is the energy of the second week of March? Vulnerable. Get involved with vulnerability. Vulnerability is at play in the second week. Vulnerability is at place. I'm getting like weaknesses, illnesses, ailments, taxation, like things that feel taxing in your life, taxing on the body, mental, emotional, spiritual, the ways that we feel taxed. They're like taxation. What is the energy of the second week? Again, vulnerability. Like seeing our weaknesses, or the roots of our weaknesses and the roots of our vulnerability. But the reason we are being shown that so clearly is to patch it up. Like they're showing as if we're in a raft and we're on the water in this raft, and we're recognizing there are holes. The holes are going to sink the raft. So you have to patch up these holes. But it feels like we're already in the raft on the water. And so it's almost like emergency, like, oh, there's a puncture, patch it up. Oh, there's a puncture, patch it up. Like we're patching up holes so that this life raft can keep going. Can you guys be a little more clear with this symbolism, please? They're like not sinking, no sinking. So we're seeing our weaknesses so that we can patch up these little holes symbolically, so that we can keep going. But there might be they're like panic attack about these weaknesses, these vulnerabilities. Like in our personal lives, we might suddenly feel very triggered around our weaknesses and vulnerabilities. And they're like, don't fall into like a place of like victimhood. Look at it, like that could come up. Victimization could come up, but look at it and be like, well, what can I do here? What can you do here? What can we do here? Do you need help from others to help patch up these holes? Do you need more hands on these holes? It's like, get yourself resourced. Get yourself resourced. And they're like, no victimization, because that's not helpful. Yes, that, you could be a victim of some circumstance, experience, situation. And they're like no lingering in victimization, whether it's like true victimization or like self-victimization. Like there's this feeling of victimhood and weaknesses and vulnerability around that. And they're like no lingering in that place. That is not an empowered place to keep going. So allow it, recognize it, get to like the root causes, notice your vulnerabilities and weaknesses where, you know, someone could, you know, poke you and you could feel like your whole ship is sinking, your whole raft is sinking. But in the end, you need to patch that up. You need to patch that up so that you can keep going. Because it seems like we're already on this movement forward. And so they're like life circumstances and situations may attempt your like transport system, your raft. And they're like, only you can do that. Like only you can, they're like, it's an inside job. Like only you can come to the realization of your weaknesses and vulnerabilities. And only you can like get to the root causes and then get resourced, find the resources to patch things up so that you can keep going down this kind of like, they're like river flow, this flow. You can keep going with the flow. You can keep going with the movement forward. What is the energy of the third week of March? What's the energy of the third week of March? Blasted, blasted, blast off, optimization. Those are the words they're giving me. Blast off and optimization. More, please. Or blasting of optimization. Almost like they're showing like there is like a powerful movement up, like a lift off, like a blast off. And it's as if we're wearing jetpacks, which would be really cool. We're wearing these jetpacks and we're like going up in the air. They're like teetering, no teetering. They're like no teetering, straight up. Like something has a clear like up or forward movement, momentum. So the week prior was patching. And we have now, by the third week, come into a place of we learned something, we grew through something, we understand the root causes of something, we have resourced ourselves, and now there's almost like a flush forward, like a push, a movement forward. It could be up in the jetpack, it could be forward, but it feels like either way, there's a positive impact to keep moving forward. Something like generates optimization to move forward in the third week. Okay. And the last week, what is the energy of the fourth week of March? What is the energy of the fourth week of March? Calming down. Something's calming down. And it kind of is like the momentum of just like, you know, our homeostasis is balance, right? And like what comes up must go down, and what goes down eventually comes back up, you know? So it's like we have this week prior where it's like, maybe there's a lot of energy, a lot of momentum of something, and then it's just like calming down. So in the fourth week, something's calming down. Any more? Can you be more specific? They're saying there's like continuous battling field, and we're navigating the ebbs and flows being in flux, the ups and downs. And now they're showing as if we're on this raft and there's a compass in front of me, north, south, east, west. And the compass is, now it's about direction. What direction are you going? Where are you going? Now that your raft is optimized to move forward, you had this momentum once you patch things up and you're shooting forward or shooting up in your jetpack, whatever. Now you're trying to decide where you're going, because they're like no direction, like being really clear on your direction. Where are you going? Is this a physical movement? Are you physically moving somewhere? Are you changing direction in some area of your life or all areas of your life? Now it's like you're choosing your direction, and they're like, really feel into where you are making decisions about where you go next, what you do next. And they're like, play with this visual of a compass and feel into it, north, south, east, and west, and sit with each direction and feel into, how does north feel? How does south feel? How does west, how does east feel? And there's something about getting into the energy of the direction. It could be literal location that is a part of your decision making. And they're talking about our inner wisdom, our inner knowing, our inner compass when we make decisions, trusting your instincts. So checking in with yourself, checking in with ourselves and asking ourselves, where do you go next? Where do you want to go next? What do you want to do next? And getting very clear about that. And the feeling you want to gauge when you're feeling into north, south, east, and west, you want to gauge sturdiness and steadiness in your body. This feeling of being sure and certain. When you hang out in the energy of north, do you feel sturdy? And you're going to feel it in your system. You're going to gauge it. This is trusting your instincts, trusting your intuition around your decision making. When you hang out in south, do you feel sturdy? East, sturdy. West, sturdy. So they're saying, like, whatever direction you go, make sure in your decision-making process that you feel sturdy and steady and confident in that direction. That's going to be your gauge of like your yes and your no. Okay. What's the most important message for the month of March? What's the most important message for the month of March, please? They're like, flowers are blooming very soon. Bloom to overcome. Bloom and overcome. There's a lot of beauty to be seen and experienced, to be had. So we're coming into a time of blooming. And whether that's literally the season you're coming into in the world, if you're coming into spring, but it could be something else. Something is blooming. But they're just saying bloom, overcome, bloom to overcome. And just like this newfound appreciation for beauty and our interconnection with each other, community, people, and the earth, animals, plants, nature. It's going to be so nourishing. We're going to want to get outside and be outside way more. They just went way, and they're like a, like way more. And so they're like, get outside way more. Just get outside. Get the reset. Go for a stroll. Go for a run, go for a hike, go sit by the water, like go sit in a garden, go tend to your garden or start prepping your garden. They're just like, you're gonna find the earth so deeply nourishing. And they're like, don't forget your natural instincts. Don't forget what you naturally gravitate towards. Don't forget your natural instincts. They just repeated it. Especially when it comes to, they're saying, modern technology, news, and media. If your instincts are saying, shut it down, turn it off, get outside, go listen to your body. Because they're saying you are responsible for your mental and emotional health. You are responsible for your individual existence in this world. And if you do not take responsibility for your reactions, then they're saying kind of like, you're part of the problem. So tend to yourselves. And they're saying, be careful for you, It's each individual makes up the collective. And they're like, there's like sparks of individuals in the collective. And it's like, we're lighting up. And some of us are lighting up as like these strong, sturdy lights that everyone can find. And like, ooh, like I need that light. And then they light up. And then there's other people who are like kind of sparks and like sputtering out or turning into explosions. So they're kind of saying, think of like a light field, like a field of little lights. And some of them are like dim, and some of them are flickering on and off, and some of them are totally shut down. They're like, something about March is like these like explosions of light where it's like this aggressiveness, but then some is just like the light turns on and it's sturdy and it's stable and it's bright so we can find each other. So they're like, think of your light, where's your light right now? Are you flickering? Are you turned off? Are you dim? Are you a warm light? Are you a bright light? Did you explode? Are you exploding? Or are you this like bright, sturdy, consistent light? And they're like, it's not goals. It's just like gauge, like where you at with your light. Okay. So that was the Akashic Records collective messages for the month of March. I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, come to the event. I want to see you guys. It's been a while. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.